Roadrunner Rundown on Bakersfield.com and the CSUB Roadrunners Digital Network.
Bakersfield punches their ticket to the NCAA tournament.
Live from downtown Bakersfield, California.
Driving Arrington for the win. CSU Roadrunners are your Western Athletic Conference baseball champions.
Here's the voice of the runners, Corey Costello.
Hey, welcome in once again to Roadrunner Rundown, the official program CSUB Roadrunner Athletics. My name is Corey Costello. Thanks for joining us on the show today. We got a lot of stuff to get to on the program, a lot of highlights from this past week. Also on the program today, we're going to be speaking with Brynn Conapitski, our marketing director, coming up in the bottom of the hour. We're going to be chatting with her about the upcoming Blue Gold scrimmage happening on Thursday at the Icardo Center. Your first chance to take a look at the 2015-16 men's and women's basketball teams and potentially win a car if you got that half-court shot thing down. So we'll chat with her about that coming up. Also at the final segment of the program, Crissy Buck-Ziegler, our softball coach, will join us. Roadrunners in fall practice, and we'll kind of chat with her and kind of preview her team for the upcoming season. I know it's kind of early, but as they get to work in the fall, we'll chat with her about her squad and promises for 2016. And also coming up next segment of the program, we were in Las Vegas last week for Western Athletic Conference basketball media preview, and we had a couple press conferences from CSUB head coach Rod Barnes, also women's head coach Greg McCall, and Jeff Hurd, commissioner of the Western Athletic Conference, will bring you some of those highlights as well from Las Vegas in the next segment. So your chance to sort of preview some teams on the program today. And we're talking men's and women's basketball coming up in the next segment of the program. But as normal, what a weekend for highlights. And we're going to take you to them right now for the Roadrunners. A lot of teams on the road, but one of the teams that were at home on Sunday were men's soccer, coming off a 3-1 loss Friday at Seattle. They played at home looking for some points Sunday versus Utah Valley. Runners pushing the offensive tempo early. Jamie Carey Morrell going to find Simon Doherty. Nice stick-withedness here as he's going to go to Christian Duarte, who misses wide there, and Duarte knows, yeah, I miss it by just that much. As we head to the 30th minute of play, Wolverines on the free kick. They're working against goalkeeper Nicholas Cleaver, who was back in the net for the ill Oscar Glovius, and here the Wolverines try the nice header, but there's Cleaver there for one of his 5 saves in the match. We're scoreless heading into the half. Second half action, Utah Valley on the move. Paul Hoffmeister on the shot. Nope, Nicholas Cleaver there to take it off of his foot. And once again, how about a corner kick from UVU? Skylar Milne had a hat trick on Friday at Utah Valley. Turned away there as well as the runners scramble to get the rebound away. 56th minute, the best scoring chance for Utah Valley. It's Austin Buxton on the run. He is going to find Carson Payton trailing. Check this out shot. Off the post and right back to the keeper who was on the ground. One more time. That couldn't have happened, right? Payton gets the pass from Buxton. Here's the shot off the post and right back to Cleaver on the ground. That's a big break for CSUB. Payton then pushing on the next goal on the board. Here he is once again for Utah Valley. The long shot, but this time right at Cleaver. He was solid in his return for CSUB, picking up yet another shutout. Back to the runners. Their best chance of the Haas Cup coming to Julian Zamora from Brian Charles. Zamora wide open. He really would love to have that one back as we are still scoreless. Final 15 of regulation. It's Celis off a nice pass here. Gets it out of the air, but it's right to the goalkeeper, and Colin Party with the save. Into overtime, another chance for Utah Valley. A free kick, but a diving save by Cleaver, and after regulation and 2 overtimes, we played scoreless. So a scoreless draw for the Roadrunners and Utah Valley on Sunday at the main soccer field. They managed 1 point in conference play. However, over the weekend, time's running out. They need to get some points and to get into the conference tournament. They lost 3-1 on Friday night to first place Seattle. Julian Zamora with his 6th goal of the season. So here's where it stands, and we put the points in now to kind of explain this because the top 7 teams will make it in, and the runners right now find themselves just on the outs there with 5 points. So they have some big games coming up. Right now, Seattle, Utah Valley at the top of the board. Roadrunners definitely still have a shot to get in, but they need to get some points. They need to get some wins coming up here in the next few weeks. Here's what's coming up for men's soccer this week as Bakersfield Bakersfield will be at home both Friday night hosting Air Force at 7:30 at the main soccer field, and then Sunday 1:30 they host UMKC, two teams right above them in the standings. Matter of fact, they've got 3 matches coming up against teams right above them in the standings the next 2 weeks of the regular season. So these are big games for the Roadrunners, and one of those games on Friday available on the WAC Digital Network, and Sunday as well, right here actually Sunday on Bakersfield.com. All right, on to CSUB women's soccer. They were coming off a loss on the Saturday or Friday night match at Seattle. They're here at Utah Valley on Sunday, and early on Utah Valley going to get the steal, and just like that, 1-0 UVU off the Bakersfield turnover. Time winding down though here in the first half, and the Wolverines, well, they're going to strike again. Callister on the move for Utah Valley. She is going to find Fox, who then once again, or Brown to Callister, then to Fox, and Fox once again going to put her in her second goal of the half as the time expired. Utah Valley up 2-0. They add a third just a couple minutes into the second half. Runners down 3-0, 71st minute. Good push for CSUB. A couple passes from Maya Green out to Whitney Strong. Strong finding Amina Settles, and Settles just going to sneak it in the right post. First goal of the match for the Runners, 9th of the season for Amina Settles. So Bakersfield gets on the board, and one final push for CSUV. 85th minute, Maddie Giamana, the corner, and look at that header. It's going to sneak in. Katie McMullen, her first goal of the season. Runners make it close at the end, but Utah Valley holds on for the 3-2 victory. So Mullen and Settles score in this one. Runners losing 3-2, and that was, of course, after the loss on Friday night to second place Seattle 3-0. So a tough weekend for Bakersfield on the road. And the bad news is they play the same 2 really good teams coming up this weekend at home for Bakersfield. Here's their point standing for the Runners. CSUB women's soccer in good place. Top 6 teams make the conference tournament. They find themselves right now sitting about in the 4th seed spot, so a good spot for the Runners. Of course, they'll host the tournament coming up first weekend in November. And here's what's coming up for women's soccer. They're going to be at home. These are 2 matches against, once again, the best 2 teams in the conference. Seattle on Friday night at 5 o'clock. They'll be at the main soccer field. And then Utah Valley, a rematch again Sunday at 11 a.m. Both those matches available on the WAC Digital Network. All right, CSUB volleyball. Where were they? They were in Kansas City. And the Roadrunners, after a sweep at Chicago State on Thursday, here's a first set. Aditya Urias with the kill. She would serve 6 straight points to give the Runners their first lead midway through the first set as the Roadrunners started to pull away a bit in that one. There's another one there. She gets credit for that point as the Roadrunners force the air. 18-17 first set, and the attack gets rolling by Sydney Haynes. She's going to come down with one of her 10 kills in the match. There it is right there. Runners by 2. The story, though, was Kelsey Sawyer, 24 kills in the match, and she got started here in the first. Nice dig by Flemian sets up Martins to Sawyer for the point. Runners win the first set, 25-23. Second set, Sawyer starting really strong, just hitting a couple absolute BBs. Here's another one right here as the Runners take the early set lead, but they lose the next 2 sets, 25-22 and 25-20. Fourth set, Runners have to win. They're trying to be composed. They seem relaxed, right? Guess who early on? Kelsey Sawyer with the pass and then the finish, and then she's able to score there. Another kill for the Roadrunners, and then Sawyer one more time off the block, and then she's going to let Sydney Haynes play a little bit as Haynes goes down the middle for the kill. Then UMKC helping things out with his serving air, and then, well, it's Kelsey Sawyer not once, but twice for the finish. CSUB wins set 3, 25-18. Final set to 15. Gotta have it. Nice defense by the Runners, setting up Sawyer. What a shot there, just sneaking into the corner. Runners up. Flemian, another nice dig, sets up Sawyer. Here's number 24. Runners now at match point in this one. It's not going to be Kelsey Sawyer, but no, the Roadrunners are going to send it to Yadritsa Urias down the middle, and the Runners win it 15-11 in the 5-set win, sweeping their Midwest road trip. Here's head coach Giovanna Mello.
We've been working on getting a little bit more consistent, and I thought we were a little bit better this weekend. We were a little bit more consistent on the things that we have been working on. We're obviously still, far away from where we need to be, but it was definitely a weekend that I was excited about because we really did get better throughout the whole weekend. Yeah, we've been wanting to be home, for a while. We haven't had that chance to be two weekends in a row at home, so it's very important for us to play well. We obviously are playing 3 really good teams that have been competing. We're fighting with them, for a position in the conference, so it's going to be 3 really good matches for us.
So the Roadrunners winning 3-2 on Saturday. The Kelsey Sawyer 23 kills in that one. She also won WAC Player of the Week honors. Runners also swept Chicago State on that road trip 3-0 in Thursday action. So Bakersfield in good standing as we look at the conference standings. Right there, tied for second with Utah Valley. New Mexico State 7-0. Utah Valley with the slight tiebreaker. They beat the Runners in their one matchup so far. They'll see the Wolverines in a couple weeks. But Bakersfield right there in the midst of things in the conference tournament standings. As we head to the upcoming games for the Runners, they will be at home this weekend hosting Grand Canyon. Saturday at noon, we'll have coverage live on the WAC Digital Network. All right, we're going to step away and take a break. When we come back, going to bring you all the highlights from the Western Athletic Conference basketball preview this past week in Las Vegas. We'll hear from head coach Ron Barnes, women's head coach Greg McCall, and WAC Commissioner Jeff Hurd. We'll get to that when we return. This is Roadrunner Rundown.
We're all runners. We're all runners. We're all runners.
CSU men's soccer takes on Utah Valley tomorrow at 1 at the main soccer field. The first 50 kids receive a free hot dog and a drink before settling in to watch this critical Western Athletic Conference battle. Don't forget to join us next Friday as well when the Runners host Air Force at 7 p.m. Buy tickets online at valleytix.com or by calling 654-BLUE. For more information, log on to GoRunners.com.
Go Runners! Bakersfield! Yeah!
Introducing a new way to get the news. The Bakersfield Californian e-edition. It's not a website, it's the actual Bakersfield Californian right on your tablet computer, laptop, even your smartphone. All the news, features, pictures, and ads you're used to right at your fingertips. Now you can get the Californian on your schedule, anytime, anywhere, anyplace. Get your new Bakersfield Californian e-edition today. Visit eedition.bakersfield.com.
We strive to achieve excellence through determination and hard work.
We are committed to learning from those around us.
Our professors and peers,
our coaches and teammates,
and our opponents.
We compete with integrity and passion.
And we seize our moment when the opportunity arises.
We take pride in our communities
and believe that we can inspire others, just as they have inspired us. We may wear different colors, but we share the same purpose.
We learn, we compete, we inspire.
We are
the Western Athletic Conference.
In a fertile valley, a growing university with record enrollment and graduates serving the needs of a thriving community, a tradition of athletic excellence. Now a part of the Western Athletic Conference. CSU Bakersfield. The Roadrunner Scholarship Fund creates educational opportunities for over 300 student athletes at CSUB. By becoming a member and donating to the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund, you're not only helping the Roadrunners fund the scholarship needs of our teams, you're investing in the future. The Roadrunner Scholarship Fund isn't just developing student athletes. We're developing tomorrow's leaders from lessons learned during competition. For more information, log on to gorunners.com/donate and become a member of the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund.
Roadrunners Basketball 2015-16 season tickets are on sale now. Don't miss your chance to see top-notch NCAA basketball right here on the blue court in Bakersfield. Men's basketball season tickets start as low as $112 for 16 games, or you can buy combination season tickets for every men's and women's home game this season. For all the new season ticket options for this season, visit GoRunners.com and find the ticket that's right for you. CSU Basketball season tickets available now. To order or for more information, call 654-BLUE. Welcome back to Roadrunner Rundown. Hey, last week was the Western Athletic Conference WAC Basketball Preview at the Orleans Arena in Las Vegas, of course, where the men's and women's basketball teams will battle it out in the WAC tournament coming up in March. And, of course, it's that time of year as basketball is right around the corner. All the head coaches from around the league came to Las Vegas for a chance to chat with the media and talk about their teams for the 2015-16 season. And here's some of the highlights from CSUB men's head coach Rod Barnes, Western Athletic Conference Commissioner Jeff Hurd, and CSUB women's basketball head coach Greg McCall.
We're joined by CSU Bakersfield head coach Rod Barnes. Coach, can you just tell us about your team and your expectations for the season?
Well, starting with our team, Ali Ahmed is our obviously first team preseason all-conference player, and that's where we'll build our team around. We think our front line is one of the most talented front lines in the league, and we're excited, and that's where our strength and our experience, that's where we'll try to win most of our games. Our backcourt is experienced, but we're very talented there. We feel like we have very good chemistry because our postman and Ali Ahmed is back along with Kevin Mays and Jalen Arrington, and those guys I think averaged about 30 minutes together conference play last year. And Brett Rapp, who averaged about 22 minutes a game, is back. So we feel really good about that. But we feel like we had a really good recruiting class and found guys that could fit the roles that we need, and feel like we're prepared to have a great season. It's going to take a lot of work. The league is very good, but we feel like we're just as talented, and after 3 years of recruiting and working, we think we're experienced enough and talented enough to compete and take that next step with our team.
Coach, after last season, with those returning starters that you had mentioned, what do you think your team needs to do this year to kind of rise above that and try and win the WAC?
I think, first of all, we got off to such a horrible start last year. Our non-conference play, and we lost a lot of close games early on. And as we, grew and played more together, as we got into conference play, we started to learn how to finish games. And I think this year that's going to be the most important thing. We had opportunities, whether it be against New Mexico State or Grand Canyon, teams that were at the top of the league last year, with a minute to go, even here during the tournament. We got a shot, a three, wide open from the corner that if we make it, we go ahead of New Mexico State with a minute to go. So as I tell our guys, you got to continue to put yourself in the right position. And then someone has to make plays. And we feel like we've got the guys now that has the experience, first of all, to put us in that position on a consistent basis. But we think we've got a couple of guys that can kind of separate us this season.
You were mentioning your recruiting class and how well that's been. Are there any newcomers that are standing out that may open some eyes this season?
Well, Damian Duran, a transfer from Baylor, may be one of the most talented guards that I've ever coached. That's been in the SEC and Big 12. He is a talent. Obviously, he still has to improve, and he's a freshman. He's young. But he could be one of those guys that could have a breakout season that not only people in our conference would be talking about, people all across this country would be talking about. He has that kind of talent and ability. And I think with the guys of our front line that we have, we don't have to push him as hard as a freshman to do, be such a, impactful player, which I think opens the opportunities up for him to have a really good year.
What do you think about the 30-second shot clock? Do you think it's going to make the game more exciting, higher scoring?
Honestly, I don't. But that's a coach that's been known and believes in defense. So the thing that I think we may see a little bit more of, I think the game will be played faster. But I could see more bad plays, really, because there's less time to really develop plays. I also, I'm just not a fan of the 30-second shot clock because if we look at the NBA, there's a lot of one-on-one play. If you look at the finals last year, that was a lot of dribbling the ball down, and the ball stayed in the two best players' hands. And I can see college basketball moving to that. And if that's what we want, I'm willing to coach it. But it just seems like to me that years ago when the ball was passed around and everyone shared it, that it was a better game. And we've got to learn how my team, and hopefully that we can play a little bit like the San Antonio Spurs because they do share the basketball. But I could see there are some games that this is just going to be a one-on-one kind of situation, which concerns me of how really exciting that is and what fans are going to think about if that starts to happen.
Coach, last year you upset California up in Berkeley for a big win. Do you have any non-conference matchups this year that would be of that caliber if you got a victory?
Well, you know, we play Arizona State at their place, maybe on the same day. So, but we feel like, you know, playing at St. Mary's and playing at Wyoming, especially St. Mary's, they have tradition now. So to get a win at their place in a tough place, and they've been really good there, would be a really a great win for our program. But you know, again, we're kind of we've believed. We played and beat Cal last year. The year before, we almost beat USC. The year before, we almost beat Washington State. So we've been believing that we can beat, you know, some high major programs, and we feel that same way this year.
You were picked to finish third by the coaches and fourth by the media. Can you just talk a little bit about those predictions?
Well, I mean, to me, it's probably right. Probably where a coach would like to be is with this kind of team. I think we're good enough to be, you know, one of the top teams, but also the league says that this league is getting better. You know, I think we probably have our best team, but then pick fourth and then pick third. I think it's a good place for us. It's not too high that our guys walk around thinking we're the best team in the league, and it's not too low that we're unconfident that we could win it. So it's a good place as a coach. But I think we're probably right near where we need to be. I think New Mexico State is the best team. They're the best program. And I think Grand Canyon has shown that they've really gotten in the league and done well. And when you got a little guard at UMKC, you know, I think point guards is, you know, where you win games. And they've got the best one in the league, I believe.
We're joined by WAC Commissioner Jeff Hurd. Can you just start out talking about the significance of basketball in the conference?
Well, certainly, I think, you know, obviously, you know, we sponsor a lot of sports in the conference and they're all important, but I think from a national standpoint, national profile standpoint, it's very important to us as a conference that we continually improve, that we continually raise our RPI as a league from a year-to-year standpoint, and ultimately our goal is to have multiple teams in the NCAA tournament. So I think from a recognition standpoint, and certainly nationally from not just recognition, but from a media coverage standpoint, it's important for us to have basketball strength as we continue to grow as a conference.
This is the 6th year that the WAC's been here at the Orleans. Could you just talk about the significance of that and having it in the same location year after year?
Yeah, I truly believe that if you're going to grow a basketball tournament, and especially in the case of the WAC, where we've had some membership changes over the last 6 years, it's important for us to develop some continuity. And Las Vegas has been and this facility in particular, the Orleans, has been one that's been ideal. It's an ideal size for us, for our conference. It's certainly an ideal location from a travel perspective, not only for fans, but for teams also. And it's, as everybody knows, Las Vegas has been for a long time, very much a destination city. And it's one that as we continue to evolve as a conference, I think growing the basketball tournament has to be part of that.
On the women's side, we're bringing in a new officials coordinator in Violet Palmer. Can you talk about significance of the conferences the other conferences that she works with, and how that will help the WAC?
Yeah, we're really fortunate to have Violet on our staff, on our officiating coordinating staff. She is certainly, and I don't know a lot of people would recognize this, but she at one time worked in the WAC as an official, and she not only works in the NBA, but also coordinates officials for the Pac-12 and the West Coast conferences, and has been a welcome addition to our staff. We replaced somebody, Kay Garms, who from nationally was very highly respected, and quite frankly, when she decided to retire, I was a little bit concerned that we're going to be able to replace her with somebody with a similar type knowledge and similar respect in the profession, and we were very fortunate to get Violet, and I think she'll continue to help our women's officiating program get better and develop as time goes by.
Along those same lines, on the men's side, longtime WAC officiating coordinator Bobby Diebler is now part of a consortium that involves the WAC. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes, first time the WAC is actually part of a 5-conference consortium that Bobby oversees, and the conferences involved are the Big West, the Pac-12, the West Coast, the Mountain West, and the WAC. And I think what it does primarily is allow us to develop, I think one of the main goals is to develop continuity in the way the game is called, particularly in the western half of the United States. Certainly gives us access to a larger pool of officials. And I think as time goes on, you'll see this concept perhaps be put into use in other parts of the country. We're the initial effort at this, and again, we're fortunate, just like we are on the women's side, to have someone like Violet coordinating the entire program. To have Bobby Diebler doing it on the men's side is just as important, and Bobby does a tremendous job, and I don't think there's a more highly respected individual in the country than he is.
We're joined by CSU Bakersfield head coach Greg McCall. Coach, can you please tell us about your team and expectations for the upcoming season?
I think we're going to be a team that has a lot more depth than we've ever had before. I think that we're going to continue to be up-tempo. We're going to continue to be up-tempo team, but I think it's going to be even more, especially on the defensive end, we're really going to extend it out even more and really pressure the ball a lot more. But I think this is going to be one of those teams where last year we relied a lot on Ty Outland to kind of get the job done. This year you'll see a lot more of the points being evenly dispersed. At any night, somebody can go off for 20-some points or 15 points. It might be just even across the board a lot of nights. So I think you'll see a more evenly team that we've ever had before, but just more depth.
Do you feel like the way that you're going to have to coach this team without Ty is, you're going to have to kind of adapt it to these other players? Because it seemed like the ball was in Ty's hands a whole lot last year.
Yes, definitely the ball was in her hands a lot last year, and this year, it's going to be. We know we still have Alyssa Shannon was our backbone last year. We couldn't afford to take her out of the game a lot of times because of just her being able to handle the point guard spot, and she was really our only point guard last year. But we have a lot of more depth this year. We have someone that can back her up, or as well as start alongside of her, and that's going to be really huge. To be able to have that. But yeah, definitely we're going to be coached a lot differently. You'll see that a lot. You'll see the ball going in different players' hands at different times, depending on the matchup and depending on who's hot at that time. And that's what we will be going with a lot more.
You also have Badabe Zimpare coming back. Just an exceptional job, almost a double-double machine. How big of a role is she going to play on this year's team?
Huge. She's healthy. That's huge. And if she can stay healthy throughout this entire year, you'll see a bigger and better, stronger Badabe than you've ever seen before. Her shot is a lot better. She's running the floor. She's not worried about her, her knee was swelling up a lot last year. So we had to kind of monitor her minutes throughout the year. There were some games she played 15 minutes, some games she played 20 minutes, and we would love to have played her more. So you'll see the ball going inside a lot more this year. She'll be, our force inside along with Brittany Sims, but Badabe, a healthy Badabe is going to do miracles for us this year.
The women's game seeing some big changes this season, switching to quarters. Yes. And some other changes. What are your thoughts on the changes and how that's going to affect the game?
I love the change. For me and my team and what it's going to do for me and my program, it's going to help me a lot because before If I would have had, with the old rules, if we would have had this team, I'm one of those type of coaches. I like to let the clock keep moving. We wear teams down, and it was hard for me to get subs in and out a lot of times because the clock was moving. This will, allow me to make some adjustments throughout different quarters, different subs. That's going to help me a lot because of the depth that we have, and so that's going to help a lot. The one rule change is going to help us, I think, even more as well too, with the not saving it, not being able to be saved with the 10-second call in the backcourt. A lot of teams we had, close to getting 10-second calls, and they'll call a timeout, and they'll have that opportunity to get it reset. So that's going to help me a lot, I think, because of our pressure defense. The one thing that I'm going to have to get adjusted to is, me being able to call more sideline out of bound play in that last minute to be able to advance the basketball. So that's something that's going to be different that I have to have a lot more of. Usually you have a lot more out of bounds, baseline out of bounds plays than you do sideline out of bounds plays. So now I'm going to have to, go back, and I'm making adjustments to that. I've already kind of started doing that, having more sideline out of bounds plays drawn up.
Coach, looks like you guys had a pretty solid year last year, and you're voted to finish second in both polls this year.
Yes.
What do you think could take this team over the top to dethrone New Mexico State?
Just staying healthy. I think last year Deji Vines was a key for us, and I think if she would have been healthy, we would have been it would have been a different story because we would have had more depth at that power forward spot, and then Badabe, being healthy throughout the year. We couldn't really rely on her a lot. We had to, take her out regardless of if I needed to, if I didn't want to or not, I had to take her out. So just health, and then just us continuing to share the basketball, which I think our team will do a good job of that. You'll see a lot more ball movement. Like I said, you'll see our team, there are certain nights certain people will be scoring more than others, but then most of the night you'll see us having a lot of even stats across the board. Some players have 10, like 5 or 6 players might have 10 points. You might have 7 players, might have 8 points a game. So it's going to be one of those type of teams, but we'll come out on top with the win, even though the points are being spread out across the board.
December 22nd is going to be a big day in the McCall household. You guys are going to take on Stanford and compete against your daughter, Erica. Can you just tell us what you think that's going to be like?
It'll be fun. It'll be really fun. It's going to be a fun day. I'm going to give her an early Christmas present. But no, it's going to be really fun. I'm looking forward to it. Our team is looking forward to it. Because Erica is really close with our players, and our players are really close with her. They hang out together throughout the summer, and they play pickup ball and stuff like that. So it's going to be really fun for both teams, and I think it's something going to be really fun for the McCall household. So it's going to be good.
All right, we'll be back. Quick break. Come back with Brynn Conapitski. We'll talk about the blue-gold scrimmage next. It's Roadrunner Rundown.
We're all runners. We're all runners.
We're all runners.
CSU men's soccer takes on Utah Valley tomorrow at 1 at the main soccer field. The first 50 kids receive a free hot dog and a drink before settling in to watch this critical Western Athletic Conference battle. Don't forget to join us next Friday as well when the runners host Air Force at 7 p.m. Buy tickets online at valleytix.com or by calling 654-BLUE. For more information, log on to GoRunners.com.
Go Runners! Bakersfield! Yeah!
The Roadrunner Scholarship Fund creates educational opportunities for over 300 student athletes at CSUB. By becoming a member and donating to the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund, you're not only helping the Roadrunners fund the scholarship needs of our teams, you're investing in the future. The Roadrunner Scholarship Fund isn't just developing student athletes. We're developing tomorrow's leaders from lessons learned during competition. For more information, log on to gorunners.com/donate and become a member of the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund.
And welcome back to Roadrunner Rundown as we continue on the program. Big week going on at CSUB. We have about 4 million live events coming to you in a matter of the next 4 days. And we'll start with Thursday, the big basketball blue-gold scrimmage, men's and women's basketball. An opportunity for somebody to win a car. And Brynn Conapitski join us, our director of marketing, who's getting ready for this big event. Good to see you again. How you been?
Yeah, I've been good. How about you?
Pretty good. As we know, we have a great week coming up. Let's start with blue gold scrimmage. We talked about this several weeks ago when it was sort of announced that Bakersfield Hyundai was going to put up a launch-up for somebody to possibly win with a half-court shot, and that's kind of been the focus of the event. But there's a lot of stuff happening that day, isn't there?
Yeah, for sure. So we started off at 7, and it's at the Icardo Center, and the first 200 fans receive a free T-shirt and a free hot dog.
Nice.
And it's a great chance for people to come and see our men's and women's basketball team. They'll start off by scrimmaging, and then later we'll do a dunk contest, and we'll do post-game autographs and everything like that. So it's a great way to kind of get to know the team and see and meet them before the season starts.
And we're doing a dunk contest, but we're actually going to also do a women's dunk contest this year. We're going to lower one of the baskets to make it a little more creative, but we're going to have a women's basketball dunk contest.
Yep.
So that's worth the price of non-admission as it is. It's free, but it's worth just the price to see how that all goes.
Yeah, definitely.
That could be interesting. So men's and women's basketball, both scrimmaging, both will have a dunk contest. We're showing some of the highlights from last year's men's scrimmage, the blue gold scrimmage, but a good chance just to kind of preview the team, see who's going to do what. I know Coach Barnes says he doesn't like this game because nobody plays any defense. It's like a glorified NBA All-Star game, but still a lot of fun. And then, of course, you can meet the teams afterwards. And then halftime of the men's game, actually, so between the women's game and the men's game, we're going to have our drawing for our half-court shot winner because we want that person to sweat it out for the next 10 minutes as they watch the men's team scrimmage in the first half. Then you will have that opportunity at halftime to win the car. BakersfieldHyundai.com. You can also go to our website, click through to register, or the easiest way is just register on game day at the Icardo Center.
We'll have a table right out front where people can register.
Nice. And then we're going to pick somebody totally random, and hopefully that person has a half-court shot.
Yeah, hopefully they,
It's not that tough. I mean, usually like to win a car, you got to make like a full-court shot or make like 4 shots. You pull out the shooting stations, you get a minute. This is one shot.
One shot.
One
One lucky shot.
And I know, a lot of people have been practicing, so we'll see if it works out. But we'll have that at halftime. It's a great draw as well, and our thanks to Bakersfield Hyundai for their support in that. And then we said the dunk contest and all that good stuff. So that is that first part of the of the basketball season. You got a lot of stuff happening. Just maybe talk us through the first month of November with basketball.
Yeah, perfect. So one of our big events is Saturday, November 14th. It's actually our official home opener for men's basketball, and we are partnering. We're doing a Heroes Night, so we're really partnering with different local veterans organizations and other ones to try and get them to come out to our game. And first 500 fans will receive mini flags, and we'll just really honor veterans that night.
Nice.
And then following that, we have another game on Tuesday, November 17th against Idaho, and that's when we're doing our baseball championship ring ceremony.
Sweet.
So that'll be
that.
that'll be at halftime of that game. So that will be a big draw, I feel like, for people to come back and.
Because believe me, following that game, every other time from that point on this show, I'm going to have some bling on.
You'll have your ring.
I'll have some bling on. I'll be excited. It'll be shining and blinding the cameras in here. So that'll be fun. And then you're big. I know you've really been excited about this one. Friday, November the 20th.
Yeah.
Fresno Pacific, a Division II squad in town. But this game is going to tip off at noon.
Yeah, it's a new thing we're doing this year. We're doing an education day. So our goal is to get a bunch of local elementary and middle school students out to CSUB. They'll do a campus tour, and then they'll watch our men's basketball team, and we'll do a bunch of fun promotions throughout the game, make it like really interactive and educational for them, and that's a big thanks to Kern Schools on that one.
Well, it's a good thing that we're making it and we're giving them some educational, because you're calling it education day, but you're taking them out of school.
It's like a field trip day.
Yeah, there you go. It's a street smarts education day. We'll show you that good stuff with college. It should be a lot of fun, and then I know and obviously a lot of stuff happening throughout the season, and more on that to come, and more details available on our website. Now, this week, though, as we continue on, we have, of course, basketball's blue gold scrimmage. Talk about that on Thursday. Friday, we got a soccer doubleheader. Saturday, volleyball is playing at noon against Grand Canyon. Sunday, another soccer doubleheader. So what can the folks kind of expect out of those this week?
Yeah, definitely. Fridays are huge games for both of our teams, to make the WAC tournament. Saturday for volleyball, it's our pink games. So we'll give first 250 fans a pink pom-pom. And then Sundays are senior day. It's the last home game of the regular season for both of our teams. So we'll be able to honor a lot of our seniors that game.
And we were talking off air about really the importance of these. And I mentioned in the first segment the importance of these upcoming games for the men's soccer team because they've had so many draws that they haven't got a lot of the points. And so they need a few points to get into the conference tournament where last year they showed just get in and they can make the championship. So Friday night especially, Friday nights have been a huge draw on campus. We put almost 2,000, was it 1,700 last time, last couple times. And Richie Grant says, like, our team plays better on Friday nights because the energy of the crowd. He said Sundays we haven't drawn so well, and we struggle on Sundays. So it's very important that people, I think, show up, especially on Friday.
Yeah, definitely. Any fans in the stands definitely help, especially for, the student athletes to see that when they're on the field. And just the nonstop cheering definitely provides an awesome atmosphere for them.
Yeah, a couple of Fridays ago in the win against Grand Canyon, it was like it reminded me of a Premier League game. I mean, people didn't stop talking didn't stop chanting and cheering for the entire first half.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And it was really cool. So some big home matches coming up this weekend for men's and women's soccer. Women's soccer playing the top two teams in the conference again, so those will be huge. And men's soccer playing a couple teams that are right above them in the conference standings. They need those points as well. And then volleyball back at home too. And volleyball's got a couple more next week as well at home.
Yeah.
And they've been playing pretty well. They're right in the middle of the pack. And the fans have responded well to volleyball. Some great crowds as well.
Yeah, we've been having fantastic crowds this season. Definitely provides an awesome atmosphere and gives me some fun, to make it fun for them to come to our games.
And it's kind of cool. It's a disadvantage that they're gone for so long in the preseason. Yeah. But it gives you all this time to plan.
Right.
And then when they show up, it's like everyone's so happy to see them that they pack the place.
It was a little crazy this year. Their first game was October 8th,
right.
So at home. So that was, definitely different than before when you started off at beginning of September.
Yeah.
So yeah. Definitely a lot of planning.
Well, we have Blue Gold again on Thursday. Men's, women's basketball scrimmaging starting 7:00 at the Accardo Center. Details on our website, GoRunners.com. You can't miss it. There's a giant ad right in front of your face now that's on the website, and all the details. If you click on that, how to register for the car giveaway and all that stuff, and just how to get to the game on Thursday, and it is free. And also, you folks can check it out online. So, Brynn, thanks so much. Good luck on all the stuff coming up.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll check in as this basketball season gets that much closer.
It's only like 3 weeks
it's
away,
weeks
so.
away. Yes, don't remind me. All right, when we get back, folks, we're going to speak with Crissy Buck-Ziegler, our head softball coach. Runners are in their fall practice. We'll preview her 2016 squad. When we get back, this is Roadrunner Rundown.
We're all runners. We're all runners.
We're all runners.
CSU men's soccer takes on Utah Valley tomorrow at 1 at the main soccer field. The first 50 kids receive a free hot dog and a drink before settling in to watch this critical Western Athletic Conference battle. Don't forget to join us next Friday as well when the Runners host Air Force at 7 p.m. Buy tickets online at valleytix.com or by calling 654-BLUE. For more information, log on to GoRunners.com.
Go Runners! Bakersfield! Yeah!
The Roadrunner Scholarship Fund creates educational opportunities for over 300 student athletes at CSUB. By becoming a member and donating to the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund, you're not only helping the Roadrunners fund the scholarship needs of our teams, you're investing in the future. The Roadrunner Scholarship Fund isn't just developing student athletes. We're developing tomorrow's leaders from lessons learned during competition. For more information, log on to gorunners.com/donate and become a member of the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund.
We strive to achieve excellence through determination and hard work.
We are committed to learning from those around us.
Our professors and peers,
our coaches and teammates,
and our opponents.
We compete with integrity and passion.
And we seize our moment when the opportunity arises.
We take pride in our communities
and believe that we can inspire others just as they have inspired us. We may wear different colors, but we share the same purpose.
We learn, we compete, we inspire.
We are
the Western Athletic Conference.
The Bakersfield Californian is a great read on the iPad, but did you know that the Bakersfield Californian is available on your Kindle Fire? Or how about Google's Nexus 7, the Nook? You bet. You can also read a full replica of the newspaper on your Android-powered smartphone, on Apple's iPhone, or on your laptop. We have a solution for any device. E-Edition is free for subscribers, or just $7.99 a month. The Bakersfield Californian. We're everywhere and anytime. Subscribe today. Bakersfield.com.
In a fertile valley, a growing university with record enrollment and graduates serving the needs of a thriving community, a tradition of athletic excellence. Now a part of the Western Athletic Conference. CSU Bakersfield.
Roadrunners Basketball 2015-16 season tickets are on sale now. Don't miss your chance to see top-notch NCAA basketball right here on the blue court in Bakersfield. Men's basketball season tickets start as low as $112 for 16 games, or you can buy combination season tickets for every men's and women's home game this season. For all the new season ticket options for this season, visit GoRunners.com and find the ticket that's right for you. CSU Basketball season tickets available now. To order or for more information, call 654-BLUE. Welcome back to Roadrunner Rundown. Don't mind me, I'm just shuffling through notes. My thanks to Brynn Conapitski joining us on the last segment, and of course the men's and women's basketball blue gold scrimmage this Thursday, 7 o'clock at the Accardo Center. It is free, so come on out. All right, we are kind of into the season now where some of the spring sports they're practicing, they're getting ready for their spring season, and one of those is CSUB softball, and joining us now is our head coach, Crissy Buck-Ziegler. Good to see you. How you been?
I've been pretty good. Been a good summer. It's been a long summer, but we're excited to be back on the field and practicing as a team. So it's been good.
Yeah, I saw you guys out there a little bit. And this is an interesting team because you don't have a lot of newcomers. Most of the team's been around a year or two. Several seniors been around a long time. Is this one of the most experienced groups you've had here at CSUB so far?
Yeah, we looked at it the other day. I think we have 7 seniors that are coming back. And in our infield, I think we returned everyone in our infield except for our pitcher and catcher. Yeah, they were a duo. So 2 big spots to fill. Right. But I think that we're coming back really strong. I'm really happy with how the seniors have just taken charge, and they're leading the way, and they're doing a good job. So proud of them.
And how does that help in the fall, kind of knowing what positions you have and what spots and holes need to be filled?
It helps a lot, but I think bottom line what it does is it helps them work hard the whole time. And we've talked a lot about culture over the past couple of years and building a culture and what it means. And there's things now that I don't have to pay attention to because they're taking care of it. Sure. That's the biggest thing. But on the field, it makes life a lot easier. We were doing bunt situations today. The coaching is very little because they already know what to adjust and how to fix it. So it's nice.
Nice. And, of course, one of the biggest areas of concern is pitching, and that's something you brought up. You lost Kelsey Monroe, who was very good last year. Yeah. I noticed 4 pitchers on the roster, so how's that kind of staff shaping up?
I'm sorry. I was watching the video. So
yeah, the highlights. There's some great plays.
I get it. I get chills watching those highlights from the WAC tournament. You know what's interesting is when I look at Kelsey Monroe and losing her, she was big, very big shoes to fill. But the 4 pitchers that we have coming back, I'm going to put a lot of credit and a lot of pressure on Shelly Prohaska, our new assistant coach. But they've been doing great. They've made huge strides in the past 4 weeks, and I'm excited to see what they do on the field. But every year, you go out and you play, and we didn't know Kelsey was going to be that good, and she just kind of took the reins and ran with it, and really proud of what she did. And so we're looking at Lindsay to step up and Sydney and Amber to come through. And then we got a freshman coming in, Alyssa Stockton, that I think she's already turning heads. And then we got our little Chris Hippa, who we're trying to gingerly get her back, but I think we'll be okay in the circle.
How does it a little bit different? I mean, obviously, when it comes to, like, for example, baseball, you want a lot of arms, but softball you don't need a lot. I mean, how is it different, compared to maybe baseball?
Well, baseball, both you can have a staff.
Yeah,
you can have a staff with a closer and a starter, and that's kind of what we're looking at. And that's what we're talking to our kids about is let's be a staff. Why not? In today's softball, you're not going to see a lot more. To see one pitcher go through and dominate is not happening a lot of times. Florida was very, very lucky this year as a national champion, but we tried to do that with Kelsey last year, and we ran out of bullets. Yeah. She literally ran out of bullets against a great New Mexico State team. Yeah. But that's why we want to have a staff, so that they're all coming in, they're all contributing.
You brought up your new assistant coach, Shelly, who played at Oregon State, been coaching for 10 years. What does she kind of bring to this staff and this organization?
Shelly brings a lot of energy, and that's a key thing for us this year. Is we're doing a lot of positive energy given to the kids because they give so much to us and to the university. But what Shelly brings is a wealth of knowledge of just pitching background, catching background, hitting background. So she does a lot of different things, which can add so much to our team. And already she's throwing BP, she's catching bullpens, and she's like, man, I need a break. I'm like, no, you don't have time for a break. But she's been great, fantastic. And we've known each other for years. We played against each other for 3, and then we got a chance where I call it I attended my first year of coaching, because when you come in your first year and you're 22 and you're coaching 22-year-olds, you feel kind of funny. So I also attended when she was playing, but we know each other really well, and we feed off of each other really well. So.
And she was probably pretty pumped that she gets a chance to coach in a warm weather area. She's been in the Dakotas and Minnesotas, and
it's funny. We've had this heat wave coming through, and
Idaho.
It's been really warm the past couple weeks, and we're practicing in the morning, and it's 86 degrees, and she's like, okay, when is the cold weather coming? I go, it's not like this normally.
Right.
But no, she loves it. She absolutely loves it. She's a California girl by heart, and where she grew up, and then she moved up to Oregon. So.
Nice. So
she's loving life here in California.
Your facility is getting another small facelift. The old backstop made out of metal and brawn is being replaced by something nice and new with netting, like we see pretty much everywhere else. That's a pretty big step. Again, the facility continues to sort of transform, and now they're going to have a new backstop.
It's a bittersweet thing. It sounds sad. I look at this thing every day and I think, oh gosh, when is that coming down? And now it's coming down, and I'm kind of sad inside.
It's like when everyone they destroyed Candlestick Park. Everyone's like, this place is a dump, and then they tear it down. You're like, I love that.
I loved it. No, but it's been really funny. Yesterday we had a bunch of girls coming by, and I think it was Josie Flores was Instagramming it and tweeting it out, and so excited to see it come down. And what we're gonna do for all the alumni that are very nostalgic, we're gonna do a couple different pieces that we're gonna have to bid for auction to help us keep fundraising, to keep that field being transformed.
Right.
But I can't thank the administration enough and their support. It makes the student. This is why our student athletes love to give back to CSUB, because of how much the administration gives to our athletes and to our students overall. So that's been a big thing for us. So I get chills thinking about it. Our program's just making really good steps and really good strides and growing, and that's what you want when a student athlete experience.
Yeah, I mean, the old backstop was built when the facility was built in the 80s, and it was made out of giant metal poles, cross-section with chain link, and then wood on the bottom, and it was great, but eventually at some point you got to update that. And I'm excited because, we'll do a little more, live video streaming this year of softball, and the few we did last year, it was great. We had this great shot, and then there was like this pole right in the way.
Fans will actually be able to see the action out on the field.
Yes, you'll be able to see second base. You'll be able to see second base. It'll be be great.
No, we're excited. I think, the past 4 years we've been talking about it. We knew what we wanted to do, but I look out there, and whether it's the press box that we got, I think in year 2 with the stadium, year 3, I think we got the batter's eye, and then this year we got last year we did the dirt and the infield groomer.
Yeah.
It seems silly, but hey, those are huge strides. And then this year we got lights on the batting cage because I'm crazy and I practice at 6:30 in the morning so that my kids can go to class.
Right.
And then we're doing the backstop. You can't put into words how special an athlete or a student athlete feels when stuff like that comes to them.
Yeah.
It makes them want to give back more, and that's ultimately what I've been trying to do with this program the past 5 years.
Nice.
Is trying to make them understand that it's bigger than them. This university is great, and we're going to keep giving back to it.
Awesome, man. I love the fact that we'll be auctioning off pieces of the old backstop to alumni. A lot of memories. I'm sure people would love it.
I'm telling you, those alumni, even the dugouts. Okay, that's our next phase is the dugouts.
Yeah.
Our alumni are like, really? You're getting rid of the dugouts? I said, it's a safety hazard. We're scared for our kids' lives. But, they said, Crissy, anything that we could do to help with the program.
Yeah.
Our alumni are fantastic. I love them. They do so much for our program. And because they got so much out of Bakersfield, and they just want to give back to Bakersfield.
You could take the wood that was at the bottom of the backstop and cut it up in a bunch of little pieces and every time they resurface a NASCAR track, they take the old stuff out, they put it on a card, and they sell it for $20 pop in the gift shop.
Hey,
so
any takers?
We'll cut up the little pieces, we'll stick them on a plaque, and then say, hey, here's your piece of history, and $5 a pop.
Any takers? I'm in.
That'll work. A good chunk of the team made the WAC finals last year. Obviously, you got some girls with a sense of urgency to get back, right?
You know, it was really interesting. We had a turnaround, I would say, after the Utah Valley series last year. And from that point on, the kids kind of relaxed. They started playing. We got to that championship game. And to go to New Mexico State and beat one of the best offenses in the country. I think they were 7th in the country.
Yeah.
And we shut them down the first game. For what we were able to do and how we were able to grow, and hear my kids cry after the game and say that was ours, it makes you feel that they now know it's possible.
Nice.
And that's all ultimately what you want to give your kids, is the belief that when they go out and compete, they have the ability to beat who's across from them.
Awesome. Well, congrats on that, and good luck this season. We got to get out of here, but Coach, we'll keep up to you as we get closer to the start of the season.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we got to get out of here, folks. Catch a show anytime on demand at GoRunners.com. We'll see you next time. This has been Roadrunner Rundown.